So 94% of people on this planet of ours never quite reach their full potential. So what I'm going to do is going to talk about what you can do to make sure that you achieve much more in your life. So one of the big, if you like, hidden secrets of the successful is that they always have their mind on the bigger picture. They don't get bogged down in moment-to-moment, day-to-day tasks. What's more important to them, especially first thing in the morning, is to really be clear about the end result of everything they're doing. What is the outcome they desire? Why do they particularly desire it? And because they're so focused on that, day to day, then the necessary tasks and necessary activities come into their consciousness. Of course, once they've moved on and started to achieve, they can delegate much of that. But in the beginning, of course, if you're starting out wanting to be one of the most successful, then you have to do your own tasks. But what's critical is only get caught up in tasks that take you closer to rather than further away from achieving the bigger picture. That's absolutely massive. A lot of people get themselves bogged down in tasks that actually take them away. They sabotage them. They sabotage their focus, they sabotage their outcomes, they sabotage their actual application. So what's critical for you is to make sure you're very clear about the bigger picture and be prepared to do whatever you have to do to make sure you get there. The challenges that we face in modern life is the instant everything. Instant burger, instant everything. But however, in order to achieve these big goals, these things you see in the future that you would absolutely love to have right now in your life, you've got to get really used to the idea of delayed gratification. Now, those who are successful fully understand this, because what they do is they constantly go back to the future in their mind's eye, reliving with their whole being the manifestation of the goal. It just comes to them naturally. They think about being there in that moment of manifestation, how it's going to feel, who's going to be there, what it looks like, what they hear even. All of that clarity is in their mind, and that drives them. It drives them then to accept that stage by stage, bit by bit, there will be highs, there will also be setbacks, but they know they'll overcome them. They have absolute confidence in their ability to find solutions to whatever challenges show up. And of course, they have this wonderful gift, the gift of stopping to smell the roses. And that's where they have this delayed gratification that ultimately leads, step by step, to the success, the fulfillment of that which they truly desire. Listen, it's so simple, it's frightening, but in a world of instant everything, you've got to learn that you can't have everything at once. You've got to trust that one of the phrases I use would be the source or the universe or whatever. Things will show up at exactly the right moment, not necessarily when you want them to, but when it's the right time. So people, places, opportunities, ideas, they all just come in due course. But the people who are successful on this planet, they've always understood that. You need to start to understand that too. And so you must continue to focus, seeing yourself in the future with your goal achieved. That's how it works. Of course, one of the issues we've got, not only with the instant world that we live in, is that every single one of us, myself, you, we live, unfortunately, within comfort zones. There is no growth in your life, nor has there been in mine, without getting really uncomfortable, taking risks and moving forward. One of the biggest challenges is getting beyond the security of, if you like, where you are now, especially if you have a job, the job that you have. And what you really want to do is go out and start a business. It's frightening for many people because they've got the security and risking themselves to go out there. It's just, for some people, it's too big a step. However, here is how I got over it. The question I asked myself was, if I take the risk to leave my employment and go out and start to build a business, what is the worst thing that can happen? And if the worst thing does happen, what would I do about it? And what you realise very quickly is you would just start over again. That attitude, that knowing that you'll start over again, is actually the foundation in which you can take the risk in the first place. Having the confidence to understand that you will be challenged, that you will have setbacks, but you know what? Because you're clear about the vision, you're clear about what it is you want to achieve, You will climb over that hurdle. You will get round that wall. You will achieve whatever you have to do, step by step, day by day, every single moment of your life, focus on achieving that. You can be absolutely certain that you will attract what you need at exactly the right time. Trust yourself, take the risk, step out of your comfort zone, get uncomfortable. That's how it works, guys. So if you've been watching these videos that I'm doing here, the obvious thing is to do this, is to go elsewhere on my YouTube channel, go to the playlists and find the goal setting workshop process. All of what I'm talking about is based on the assumption that you've set yourself, listen to this, unrealistic goals. Goals that are unachievable in the beginning. That comes out of understanding the processes of MindStore and what I teach. And I've been doing it, remember, for over 35 years, 500,000 people globally. This stuff works, but you've got to go and make it work. So the first thing you've got to do is go through at least a 4-day process of setting goals. Each part of the process only takes minutes, but you need 24 hours to process it in your subconscious to be ready for the next stage. You must go through a process of setting goals, not the way that you've probably done before, nothing to do with realistic, achievable goal setting, but actually the unique MindStore process of uncovering the goals that are absolutely going to press your buttons, that are going to drive you to do whatever you have to do to achieve your goals. So elsewhere on this channel, find the goal setting workshop under the playlists, go there, work that over the next little while, you'll change your life. Because you can, elsewhere, and of course MindStore, there's lots of other resources, lots of other mini courses and lots of other wonderful programs. Check them out. Thanks for watching. Why don't you help me help you? Ring that bell, like, subscribe. More importantly, ask a question, make a comment below. Check out the notes below where there'll be links to other platforms that I work with. Take the time to comment and certainly ask questions. I'll get back to you. I've never knowingly let anyone down. I'll answer your question. It's been a pleasure sharing this stuff with you. Thanks for watching. Bye now.